Hey guys, welcome to or back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brianna, and if you're coming back from a previous video, then thank you so much for coming back. So today, as you can see by the title, I am going to be talking about the truth about going to a community college. So I thought with decision day coming up, well, not really coming up, it's May 1st, but it's in the next few months, I thought I would talk about my experience with going to a community college for a year, because honestly, I feel like community colleges get such a bad rep, but like they're not that bad. So a little background to my experience with going to a community college and like me personally, I attended Loyola University Chicago for my freshman year of college. So I attended it from August 2018 to May 2019. I realized the college wasn't a right fit for me, and in the process I applied to the University of Illinois at Chicago, I believe in January 2019, and I was hoping to just transfer right from Loyola to UIC. But I did not get accepted to UIC my first time applying, and so I figured my only option at that point was to go to a community college because there was no other college that I really wanted to go to besides UIC, and Loyola was just not it for me. So I went to a community college for a year. I currently do not go to a community college. Currently I'm living at home because of COVID, and my college is basically closed, so I'm staying at home to save money. But I got accepted to UIC, which I got denied from my first time applying, but now I go there, everything's good, no hard feelings. But anyway, I went to a community college from August 2019 to May 2020. So I went to a community college during a pandemic, but anyway, I'm going to be talking about my experience, different things that people normally think like, oh, I can't get that out of a community college, but you really can. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is classes. So obviously you're in college to go to class and learn because that's why you chose to go to college, and a community college normally gets a bad rep for classes just being not as difficult or not as rigorous, or just the professors aren't as good or anything like that. But honestly, my experience with classes was, number one, a smaller class size. To be honest, I was coming from Loyola, and Loyola was a private for nonprofit university, and we had generally small class sizes, but there were some class sizes that were larger. At my community college, I literally didn't have a class bigger than I think 30 people, which there is a little downside. It does feel a little bit like high school, like you're going to class and like it's different people, like different periods and things like that, but like it's not that bad honestly, because it's just a reduced amount of people in your class, which is always better. And I built relationships with my teachers that I never did at Loyola. Just because it's a smaller class size, I feel like the teachers actually want to get to know you and help you out and just make you learn more. So classes, they were basically the same at both of my universities, at Loyola and my community college, except for the smaller class sizes. I feel like the classes at the community college were just as hard, and they were even harder honestly, and the teachers just cared more about you because they were a smaller class size, which brings me into my next thing, teachers. So I believe all of my teachers at my community college had PhDs or master's degrees, so it's not like some person coming straight out of like their bachelor and undergrad degrees and like teaching you because they can't get anyone else to do it. My community college was like a very good community college, so I mean, look up one that is well qualified, but I'm honestly sure at all community colleges they're not just having strangers with barely any experience come in and teach you things. So my community college teachers were so nice. They were so willing to just help you and get you involved in any activities that either they were like the founders of that like club or organization or something like that. Especially in one of my psychology classes, my teacher like pushed and pushed and pushed for everyone in the class to join his like organization that he made up for research, because he said there's not a lot of research opportunities at a community college. You need to just find those professors that are willing to help you if there's not an organization already established, or that are willing to push you to join their organization and just to learn more. So just don't doubt the teachers at community colleges, because honestly mine were so much nicer at my community college than at Loyola, and they were just so willing to help you. And I think that's because they had a lot less kids to just like keep track of, but even so, like, they were just so nice and so caring and just really wanted you to be there, and you kind of just felt that. They wanted you to learn, they wanted you to be there. All of my teachers, I feel, were so passionate about what they were teaching. It was like unreal. Like, they really loved what they were teaching, and I didn't get the same vibe at the universities that I've been at, the two that I've been at so far, Loyola and UIC. Even though UIC has just been online, I really just feel that. So yeah, teachers were very good at a community college that I went to. Next, I'm going to be talking about meeting people. So I feel like a big thing about people not wanting to go to community colleges is because oh, they won't get the college experience. Well, you know what? Most of us haven't gotten the college experience for the past year, so I really don't think it's a reason to not go to a community college, because I actually met quite a few friends at my community college, and it's even a closer relationship, I feel like, because you are all going through the same thing. You're mostly all living at home but going to college, and most of you also have jobs, so you have a lot more to relate on rather than a big university where you all came from different states and you all have different backgrounds, which is also great. Obviously it's good to have people who aren't similar to you, but going to community college, it was really nice just talking to college students who were also working. I was working 2 jobs at the time, and who were going to school, and who are living at home, and just feeling that sort of closeness together because you have something to relate on, because most people are away at college and you are currently living at home. So I feel like making friends is kind of easy, but it's no different really from a university, because most of the people that you meet in classes at university, you just meet in class at a community college, and you don't have those parties or social kind of gatherings in dorm rooms or apartments that you might have at a bigger university, but you can make those times happen for you. You can ask someone to grab a cup of coffee. In my community college, there was a Starbucks inside, so you could ask someone to go meet you for coffee, or hey, after class, do you want to walk out together to our cars, or something like that. Just the little things to make you make friends if that's why you're avoiding going to a community college. And honestly, you can meet people in organizations, which is coming up to my next point. So organizations, there were a lot of organizations and clubs and committees and things like that at my community college that I joined. I joined one for psychology, and that's where I met friends and where I felt like the teachers truly cared about you and what you did. And so I feel like some people think going to a community college, you won't have the experience in the educational aspect, but I think that's totally false. I feel like I pretty much got the same or more at a community college due to teachers pushing you to join things and organizations, and just you have to be your own advocate. So I'm not saying they're just going to give this to you, but you have to be willing to be involved. But once you are involved, it's great, and it's a great way to make friends. The next point I'm going to make, which I kind of mentioned before, was working. It is so much easier to work while you go to a community college than regular university. I honestly feel like I could have worked when I went to a big university at Loyola, just because I probably could have, but I was just oh, I'm in college, I don't have to work right now or whatever, I'll worry about the loans later. But I honestly loved working while I went to community college, especially because you don't have that outing as much. So you don't have to go to the cafeteria with friends to get your food, or you don't hang out with people in your dorm or whatever. So working while going to school really just kept your mind off of other things. It kept you busy, and you make money while you go to school, which was awesome. I made probably the most money I've made throughout since I've been working in 2016 when I was going to a community college, because I was just motivated to pay off my tuition and fees and everything like that. And you're just working and making money while going to school too, so thumbs up for me. The next point I'm going to go off is living situations. So most people, when they go to college, they live in dorms or apartments, and that is one thing most people at community colleges don't do. Some might live in apartments with their friends who are also going to a community college, but honestly, most people at community colleges live at home. But honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. I had a huge stigma against community colleges because I'm like, you don't get your freedom, you're living at home. But honestly, with going to school and working, home was basically somewhere I just slept at night and like hung out with my family for like the last few hours at night, which is always nice. And especially if you have a good relationships with your family, going to community college will save you money because you're not paying for a dorm that is crappy anyway, and you are living in your house. You don't have to pay as much for food just because you are living at home. You don't have to also deal with food that's bad at big universities in like their cafeterias, and it's basically just a really good way to save money while being at home. And living at home is honestly not as bad, and like I said, you can connect with the people that you have classes with at your community college because you can talk about your own situations of living at home while working and going to school. I think that is all the points that I'm going to go over in this video. So kind of just living, classes, teachers, making friends, all of the main points that you are wondering about when going to any college, but especially a community college, due to the big like stigma against, ew, like I don't want to go to a community college, because that was literally me when I realized that I was going to have to go to a community college for a year. I was like, oh, I don't want to do that. But it has saved me so much money. If I have gotten the choice to go to a community college for my first year or two of college to save money and just to get the gen eds out of the way, I probably would have done it. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to go to Loyola and go to a big like private university, but I also think there's nothing wrong with going to community college for any of the reasons I said, whether it's to work, save money, just take your gen eds and get those out of the way before you go to a big university. And you always just have to make sure that you're taking the right classes at your community college to transfer over to a big university if you are planning to get your degree from a big university instead of your community college. Although I know many community colleges do have like bachelor programs and degrees. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this helped you out, especially with COVID. I kind of thought I should make this video, just my experience going to a community college, just because honestly, like, many of you might be choosing to go to a community college for your first year or two, just because we don't know what's going to be going on in the world by the time you go to back to school in August, whether it's your first year of college, second, third, fourth, or you're going back to school. You just never know what the world holds. So I thought I'd just make this video because it's not wrong to go to a community college. There's actually many benefits to it, and it's honestly not that different from a university. It's just you're closer to your house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It means so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.